Okay, so we are in the second month of the year, and let's look at stocks. The 50 or 100 stocks which have made the biggest move since the first day of trading, and try and learn something from it because um, there are stocks which are already up 50% plus. But what is the characteristics, or what is it that can you can learn from that? And this is an exercise which you should do every month because it can allow you to overcome some of the thinking in the market which is like wrong, or some of the hypotheses which are wrong, or more than that, it allows you to understand the way momentum starts, or how moves start, and what happens at the beginning of the moves. That's really what I am most interested in, and I've been doing this study for many years. So let's do this. And to do this, let's go to TC 2000. And when you go to TC 2000, what I've done here is essentially universe is a watch list which I've created, which is basically US common stocks and American depository receipt. And because you want some liquidity, I put a liquidity condition of mean V 3.1 is greater than 100,000, which in English means that the stock has traded 100,000 shares for each of the last 3 days, not counting in today, and price is about $3. So those are the stocks. And now what we are going to do is there's an inbuilt column in TC 2000 called YTD percentage change, which is basically the percentage change calculated from the first trading day of the year. So we can insert that column. So the value column which we'll insert is YTD, and when you insert that, it will say YTD percentage change. So you have this YTD percentage change, and we'll edit that to make it more like, say, positive colors will make it green, and negative colors will make it red. So that way you can see positive colors and negative colors. And I'm going to take this to the left, so that like that's the first column. So now here you have a stocks which we have sorted by percentage change. The stocks which are showing up in this list are stocks which from the first day of trading have gone up the most till now, basically. And primarily when you're looking at this, what a couple of things which you can do and enhance your understanding is like, how do move starts, what happens at the beginning of the move, because if we know what happens at the beginning of the move, we can scan for that. And that's one thing. Second is like the kind of patterns which show up, and identifying few good patterns from that, and then putting it in your pattern book, or creating your own book of the patterns helps you in finding them in real life. Basically, that's how this game is played by most players. Like, they study the history and try and find a similar looking move in the current market. So let's go and go see this here again. And when you look at this, you have one stock which has made uh, 245% move, and you will see that this stock in one day went up 648%. Is there something which we can learn from this particular stock? Even if you look at like, here this particular stock started with 16% move and then went on, but one of the reason why a stock makes this kind of a move is essentially because of uh, the news, right? News is a very powerful catalyst. News came in on this particular day, and you can go back and see if you want to see what kind of news was there, and as a result of that, the stock made a news. And you will see again and again, when you look at stocks which have made big moves in a single day, there'll be some catalyst, news catalyst. It may not be a catalyst which is typically earnings or sales, but it might be some catalyst, and then that stock catches everybody's fancy, and then it keeps just going up and up and up. And the float in the stock is 8.9 million. That also helps. And if you see on this particular day, 811 million shares were traded. So how can a stock which has a float of 8.9 million trade 811 million shares? That's because when a stock starts going up, all the day traders who are professional day traders, they always want to be in a stock which is moving. And as a result of that, you can have a stock having 100 times its volume, the float turn around in one day. And so this is something like, and I always keep an eye on like stocks which are basically having some news. The other thing is like if you are trade ideas, in trade ideas, which is a software which I use, you can create a scan looking for stocks which start making new high rapidly. And this is how I found this stock on that day, basically because I have a scan which looks for stocks which make 30 or 40 new high in just a matter of few minutes. And that's where it first showed up. And then it subsequently kept going up. So that's another thing. So if you see again splash beverage, and if you go and see what was the news here, you'll see there was some news here. And the news started this particular move. And if you noticed in each of these stocks, like here, 811 million shares were traded. In this particular case, there were like an 85 million shares were traded. And this is one of the scanning ideas after studying the stocks, which I have, which is like to look for stocks which have this really abnormal volume of 9 million plus. My studies show that many big moves start with the first day volume of 9 million plus breakout. So I look for a breakout which has 9 million plus volume. So you'll see here, this is black. And if you look at what is that black is essentially a stock which has a 4% breakout on a 8.9 million volume, right? And if you study many of these kind of moves, not just like 50 moves, but study thousands of them, you'll see that many big moves start with this kind of volumes, a big volume of 9 million, or sometimes even more than that. In this case, it started with 85 million shares volume, and uh, big move started, and then the stock went up 209%. And then after that, there was like an orderly setup here, and there was another breakout, and again 4% breakout at the beginning of any swing move. Typically on these kind of stocks, you're going to find 4% breakout. So that's one of the things. I don't trade very low price stocks like this, $1 and all, so I don't really go into this kind of things. But if you want, there is a lot of money in it basically. So again, same thing which you can see that, and how quickly if you have a absolute momentum indicator like here, which I have T65, which looks for average C7 by average C65 greater than 1.05, that you can find out the stock has picked up momentum. And this is the advantage of using absolute momentum versus relative momentum. Now BPT, again it is up, and you will see that whenever a stock starts a move, typically at the beginning of its swing or a beginning of its move of 3 days, 32% it made, you have a 4% breakout, right? This is a discovery which I made many years ago, and that's why I use the 4% breakout, because you'll see here, and I scan for 4% breakout. This is a 4% breakout. So which a stock is up 4%, volume is greater than yesterday's volume, volume greater than 100,000. And you're going to see this again and again in every single move. Again, Indonesia Energy Corporation, big volume, 9 million plus volume, 52 million shares traded. Here 82 million, 88 million shares traded. Here 23 million shares traded. So whenever you have an abnormal volume of around 10 million shares traded or something, that stock is, at least in the short run, going to make a move in the direction of that volume. So keep that in mind. And it's a very powerful indicator which can get you into a big moves. Almost all like in a big moves, like say Fastly here. You see on this particular day, there are 18 million shares traded on this particular day. It showed up in the 9 million scan. So just simple ideas you can find by using studying the market moves, which can be like not necessarily something which many people look for, and that gives you an advantage basically. This is a buyout, whenever there's a buyout. So again, you see this particular stock, it made a move and it is up 91%. And what do you see at the beginning of the move? Here at the beginning of the move, you see 60 million volume. So these kind of clues, if you can find and incorporate and create setups, then you'll be in a better position. This move started like I say here, and 4% breakout, and you'll see that one of my uh, ideas is to trade 4% breakout or like scan for 4% breakout is based on study of stocks. I have gathered together a data of 40 years of stocks which had made 25% plus move in a month. And I found that at the beginning of their move, typically they have 4% plus breakout. So you see here, this swing had a 4% breakout. Here, there was a 4% breakout. Here, there was a 4% breakout. So by just scanning For a simple thing which is like a stock having 4% breakout, you can find setups. BTU, again, you'll see that today it had a 4% breakout, but today also it had a 9 million plus volume, 12.7 million volume. It had like an 18.8 million volume. And typically at the beginning of the move, you're going to find like the stock will be up 4% plus. That's how moves start. That's how moves start. And you can verify this for yourself. The good thing about whatever I'm saying is that you don't have to take it as true. You can see it with your naked eyes and you can test this out. So you'll see that 4% breakout starts most of those moves. Almost every move this has started this year, which is a big, started with 4% breakout. So you run a scan like 4% breakout, you can catch a lot of fish. You can catch a lot of fish. Again, here the stock had that was in December, but like 9 million breakout. Uh, Again, stock is up 76%. How did the move start? With a 4% breakout, right? And this green means 4% breakout. Here, intermediate terms also a swing here was a 4% breakout, right? So you can if you try and understand these kind of moves, you'll find there are a lot of opportunities in this particular case. Also, if you look at January, this is a 4% breakout. It was also a 9 million volume breakout, and then the stock went up. Recently had a 4% breakout here, right? Tenaco, this is a buyout. I think this is a buyout, so that's why it is like that. CPT, and again you will see that moves like this where the stock went up 343%, invariably is caused by news. And if you want to capture stocks like this in the software like Trade Ideas, there is a scan which you can write, which looks for a stock which makes 30, 40 new highs in a few minutes. So the stock has a lot of momentum, and these stocks which show up in that scan, they tend to keep going up. So let's go and look at some of these, and you'll see a commonality. You'll see commonality. Big moves start with 4% breakouts, or swings in those big moves starts with 4% breakouts. So at the beginning of moves, you're likely to find those kind of buying which comes in here, 4% breakout. And there was a swing here, 4% breakout. So not every 4% breakout works, but if you put a proper rules, you can find a lot of money by just looking at these things. So you'll see that again. These are all stocks which started with a bang. Volume was high on this particular move, 1.5 million. Stock went up in 3 days, 12, 14, 15% move. Right? So these are all stocks which are up. This is a buyout. Basically, again, you see here there's a 4% breakout and stock went up. So patterns on oil and gas, it's the sector which is doing well. AMR, again, started with a 4% breakout at the beginning of a move, likely to find 4% breakout. Absolute momentum helps you. Absolute momentum will show you where it entered momentum phase. So you can look for a setup like this for an anticipation. Or see here again, Miriam Pharmaceuticals. And if you look at it, you'll see the move started here, and that was basically a 2.71, but this is a 4% breakout. Again, you'll see 4% breakouts here. You'll see series of 4% breakouts. So stocks move in 4% breakout increment if they are going to make big moves, and you'll find that again and again. You'll see momentum. So study these things and you'll see so many stocks, 9 million breakout, right? 10.5 million shares traded. And then after that, the stock is up 16%. So powerful moves start with powerful volumes many times. Today, the stock had a big volume move and with a 4.1 million shares traded, right? And here, again, you'll see again and again that there'll be a range expansion, and range expansion with volume is a good signal if you're looking for finding breakouts, right? MIRC again started with a 4% and is up now 15%. So very common thing you'll see when you see these things, that there'll be similar kind of a 4% breakout, series of 4% breakout, 4% breakout here. And here again, the stock is up 43%, 4% breakout here at the beginning, 4% breakout here, and the stock is up. So HP, series of 4% breakouts you're going to get in any big moves, and many times those will be at a logical start of a swing move. And the one which are at logical start of a swing move like this, are good signals for you to get into them, like here again. Okay. So as you keep looking at it, you're going to find same thing, because I studied this for many years, and that is what led me to discover to create my method, which is 4% breakout. You'll see that on this particular day, that was a very logical buy point, and the stock went up 11%. This was also 4% breakout. This was also 4% breakout here, right? A move started with 4% breakouts. So here again you'll see, and these stocks are up like 40-50% from the beginning of the year, and they all will show up in your 4% breakout scan. Means not yours, but my 4% breakout scan. So it's a very simple idea. Halliburton, again you'll see here, this is a 4% breakout, and from there the move started. So study these kind of stocks which are up the most by here again 4% breakout, and the move started, right? And again you are going to see the same thing. GOGL at the beginning of the move, 4% breakout, stock is up 41% or 47% since then. And here again you'll see the same thing, right? So it will show up, like I scan for this every day, and I look for candidates which meet my criteria, basically series of criteria which I have around it. But like here again you'll see the same thing. Logically, at the beginning of a swing, you're likely to find a 4% breakout. So I looked at around 50 stocks, and when you look at these 50 stocks, you're going to find the same thing again and again, which is either some of the big moves will start with some sort of a news catalyst, and they'll just make one day big moves. Second, you're going to find most of the big moves are going to start with a 4% plus kind of a move, which is a very common kind of a thing in a stock. And that's because, like in a one day momentum, big one day momentum, if the stock was not having a 4% breakout for say 8, 9, 10 days, and then it has a 4% breakout, the tendency is it attracts more buyers, and the stock tends to go in the direction of that. So just by scanning for 4% breakout, you can find a lot of good buy ideas. Obviously, the scan itself is not a setup. You have to create conditions under which you are going to buy a 4% breakout. So that's a good thing. Now we looked at the bullish side of this. You can also look at the bearish side of this to see if the same idea works and what happens. So YTD kind of a thing. And let's look at the bearish side of this equation. And when you look at the bearish side of this equation, what you're going to see is that here, Kodak, right? And that's the stock which is down most, right? And how did the move start? At the beginning of the move, this is 4% on the downside, right? And this is a 4% on the downside, right? So this is something which is a very simple way to find stocks. Like here at the beginning of this swing down, there's a 4% breakdown. Here also, like at the beginning of the breakdown, there's a 4% move. And this kind of simple ideas are easy to trade because they're not complicated. Right here, there's a 4% breakout here at the beginning of a swing. Okay, you'll see again and again, like 4% breakout. Here, this move down started with a 4% breakdown, right? Each of these, most of these will be starting with a 4% breakdown. Here, 4% breakdown, and started move, and so on and so forth. So, studying stocks which make a big move, you will discover that they have a common thing, which is basically they start their move with some sort of a range expansion or a big down day, and which tends to be of a magnitude of 4% plus. And if you can just use this very simple scanning, like a 4% breakout or 4% breakdown, like this is the scan which I run every day, or in combination with other things, but like this is the simple scan which looks for a stock which are up 4% on a volume which is greater than yesterday's volume. Volume is about 100,000, and stocks which are down 4%. And I catch a lot of fish. But the important thing is this is based in how the market actually operates, right? And if you see all these moves, they started with a 4% breakdown, right? Uh, any big moves, you're likely to find that as a commonality, basically. And as a result of that, from a simple study, you will see that at the beginning of a swing on the downside, there is a 4% breakdown. Not everything will have that, but most of the big ones are going to have. Like the one which are big, they will start with a 4% breakdown. Again and again, you are going to find the same thing. So hopefully this might open some eyes, give you some idea as to what to study in stocks which are down, and use that information to create ways to scan for finding this kind of thing. This is a swing which started, and it started with a 4% breakdown. So it will show up in your scan on this particular day. On this particular day, it will show up in your scan. Right. Again, all of these stocks started their down move with a 4% breakdown. Like you'll see a same thing happening again, 4% breakdown here, 4% breakdown here, and then the stock goes down. So there is an information of in 4% breakdown, which is like a stock might probably move in the direction of the 4% breakdown, right? And here stock went down 42%. Again, there was a 4% breakdown here. And in between, there was no 4% breakdown. So you can see that, right? See here, again, there was no 4% breakdown for a long period of time. And then 4% breakdown started happening. And here, like here, and then it started going down. So here. And for 22 years, I used this method, 22 years, right? And so it's not something which is uh, just discovered kind of a thing. This is like my original discovery of how market operates, and 4% breakdown here, see here. And then the market went down in that direction, basically. Again, here, 4% breakdown. At the beginning of the move, 4% breakdown, right? And here, 4% breakdown. There was no 4% breakdown for a long period of time here. And then 4% breakdown and starts the move. So you will see, if you study the biggest winner for the year, you might discover something. There's no 4% breakdown here. There's a 4% breakdown. And from there, the stock starts going down, and it keeps going down in this direction. Farfetch also, like, and if you see 4% breakdown, there's no 4% breakdown for 8 or 10 days or 20 days, and then it just like and it goes down. Again, there's a 4% breakdown here, and it goes down. So if you want to make money, study stocks which go up a lot and go down a lot, and you'll discover something, and that discovery can form the foundation of making money. Scan for things which you find at the beginning of a big up move or at the beginning of a big down move. Create some rules based on study of past patterns, and then select such stocks to buy which had 4% breakout or a 4% breakdown to short, and you might have catch some of the moves which make big moves in the market. And the beauty of this is every day you're going to find so many moves. Every day there are stocks which may have a big 4% breakout or 4% breakdown, and you will never go hungry.